Here, almost all of us, especially the provincial commissioner and the deputy minister, myself. Later on, the national commissioner joined the scene here and the mayor. It was quite a bad story to hear. It's a story that, as I've said somewhere, that is a story that you don't wish to hear. Where the young women, 8 of them were raped. That's a story you know by now. There were 12 women that were involved in that particular event. I'll come back maybe to that. We requested the police in form of really instruction to say we'll have to respond on this one. The young people there between age 19 and 35, 37 were raped, some by 10 men, some by 8 and all that. Not raped 8 or 9, 10 times, raped by 10 or 8 different men. So you can imagine the trauma on that situation. Then there had to be an operation. The state has to respond, and the national commissioner unleashed some serious resources here, and those resources, they brought teams from the special task force. As we have always said, that we have capacity. Some people were saying we need to call soldiers. We are not there yet. We have capacity as South African Police Special Task Force. Not too many of them came. The NIU, National Intervention Unit, the TRT, the POP, and other people were here. And then initially I gave the figure that there were 3 people that were arrested. There are 67 people that were arrested are in the cells now here. 67 of them. They are found on the mountains, on the bushes, and everywhere. They are here. 2 of them, they resisted and fought the police, and they were shot dead. 2 of them are dead. 1 is in mortuary. So altogether, those will be almost 70 people. 2 dead, 1 in hospital, 67 arrested. There is a strong suspicion that will be confirmed by the Home Affairs official who are here, that they are foreign nationals rather than being South Africans, including those that raped the kids. They looks like they are foreign nationals, but the people that were raped are all South Africans. But among the people that were there, women, there were 12, as I said. 4 of them were not raped. We are raising some concern around that. The police are making some investigations. It will be good to wait for that investigation. What do they get out of that? But also, men that were there, 9 of them were Nigerians. They're not South Africans. So there are a lot to be investigated before we come to the finality of understanding the matter. The team today from yesterday brought the biology dogs. Lot of biology evidence that has been collected. We are very comfortable with that evidence collected. Today they were supported by 3 helicopters in the air, so it was a real operation. That's why we have these results. But we're not going to stop here. It's continuing, and we go beyond this operation for what has happened here. I would like to thank the mayor who's here, has been very active working with the police on the environmental design, has sent the tractors, they are cutting the grass and all that. We'll be working with the police to respond to whatever the police have requested to make their life easy and make the life of the communities here easy. So to South Africans, we had to respond. We are responding. We're not stopping here until we make sure that this situation is wiped off, and we respond on behalf of the victims, but on behalf of the South Africans general. Thanks.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 57 is that figure that the minister has now updated with regards to the arrest. Let's now open up for some questions. As I've mentioned, we do have the National Commissioner, the Provincial Commissioner as well, and other operational members, including, of course, our DM, who's also here. I can't see very well, so I'll just assume that there is a question there. I see Malungelo, and I'll take you into that. Go ahead, my brother.
Minister, good evening. I'm Malungelo from Newsroom Africa. You said that 4 women were not raped and that 9 men who were there were Nigerians. And the way you said that, it sounded to me at least like you've got you suspicious, you questioning how these 4 other victims, these 4 other women were not violated like the other 9. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding you correctly. And how were you able to establish that the 9 men were Nigerians, and what's the connection with all of this? And the other questions, I mean, we were speaking to some locals here saying that actually what happened there is not shocking to them. It was bound to happen. Women in this particular area, I mean, are victims of these crimes, and police are actually don't have resources to assist and help deal with this particular crime. What will you be doing to make sure that people feel like it's safe? Because what we're hearing is that people are not safe.
All right, let's take those 2 questions, I believe.
Malungelo, the first question, if I were biblical, I would have said to Shiloh. But that's why I went on to say that's what the police are investigating of that 4, and how it happened that 12 women, 8 of them, and then these survive in whatever way. Let me do say there is investigation going on. We might make some announcement in a not very distant future on that one. The second one, the National Commissioner is here. He unleashed the resources. You were here when I gave you the units that were here, including 3 helicopters, all dogs, biology, collection, and all that. But I went on to say this is a beginning. We are not going to leave this place before we deal with cleaning the place, and not only this one. When it comes to Zamazamas, we're going to take this as a beginning, and then we'll roll on in dealing with the situation of cleaning these Zamazamas and their bad activities.
All right, behind me.
Thank you. Lindo Kulu from ENCA. First of all, Minister, thank you for answering that question about the fact that this will be a start of dealing with the issue of Zamazamas. But I do have to ask, did it have to come to this for such an operation to actually kickstart the way you put it? But secondly, there are several arrests that we've seen, witnessed ourselves. You said there are about 67 or so. But how do we then narrow it down to say that, how are we sure that some of them are suspects? I'm trying to get a sense of this, because it does seem at this stage that it is an arrest of illegal minors. But at the end of the day, this was started by the fact that a crime, a heinous crime, was in fact committed. So how close are we, in fact, in terms of identifying those that are behind this criminal activity beyond what we have seen in terms of the number of arrests based on illegal mining? Because at this stage, I think many South Africans are looking for answers in terms of who exactly are those behind the crime of gang raping. Thank you.
Got you, Linda Gusha, Minister.
Linda Gusha, it is here, but it does not begin here with the response of the police. I don't know why good things police do are really not come to the fore. We have had these operations. At one time, it was about 8 hours underground battle in Auckland. where the police had almost 800, and we won that battle underground there, where there was exchange of fire almost for 8 hours underground. But besides that, about a month or two ago, there was another huge operation in Ndogohle, run by the South African police together with the private security, where we attacked the mine that you would think is official. All machines, big machines there. So was run by the top brass of the South African Police Unit, Special Task Force, your NIU, and everybody. There, we did not just arrest Zamazamas. We arrest the owners of those companies in the Porsche cars as they were trying to run. We chased them with our helicopters. It was the biggest, and we shut down the thing. So it's not the first time. It's unfortunate. Maybe Lorenzo and them and Mate and them, they are not really telling these good stories. But this one is heinous, as you say, it's bad, and everybody looked at it. But our response is part of going forward. Actually, we started in Free State with this team. Yeah, they've been, these teams are formed, they're operating. Maybe one point to emphasize them. We are quite happy with working together with the private sector, the industry. We will be working, they have invited us, they have put some resources on the matter, including on the day of that operation. So this tells us that we don't have to stop until this really is done once and for all.
And the issue of just bringing closer to the suspects of this crime, instead of just generally looking at illegal miners.
There were biology dogs, and as I've said, that police are very happy with the evidence, even biological evidence that we have collected from the scene. Yes, we'll narrow them down there for the fact that there is this biology evidence. Surely our laboratories, which are grinding, are working now. They will prioritize work on that. But the profiling will be continuing to check those that are undocumented, and also will be checked and all that, helped by the biological evidence that is there. Indeed, I would agree with you that it would not be everybody. For instance, we are told that people that were there were 20, but we'll have to narrow down to those and find out those people coming close to the crime.
All right, Minister, as we wrap things up, I do want to reassure you that we do thoroughly communicate these successes, Minister, as SAPS and the Police Ministry. We'll refresh your memory, Nobuhle. My sister, go ahead.
News did cover the story.
My name is Nicolene Trom. I am from West Village. Minister,
where from?
I am from West Village, the abandoned, neglected and rejected community by your office. It's such a pity that it had to come to this, that you have to hear our cries through such a gruesome thing. But to us, this is a norm. This is what we experience every single day. There's a number of deaths in West Village reported. There's a number of women raped, gang raped. And if those women were raped by 8-10 men, that's nothing. We've got women that have been raped by over 20 men. One woman going through that. I am a victim of that. I know what it feels like. I know what it's like to. I've seen the wrath of the Zamazamas. West Village is under siege. When is your office going to realize that West Village is in the hands of trigger-happy beings? We live like foreigners in our own country. We've got a curfew from 6 till 5 o'clock. Even during the day, you can't walk freely without having an escort. You can't go to the store and buy bread without having an escort, because they are there. This grass that you are talking about, ask the mayor. How many times have we asked the mayor? Please, at least do not give them a conducive environment. Please do not give them a place to hide. How many times have we engaged with the mayor's office that at least put up street lights? If you go to, I actually invite you to go to West Village now. It is a ghost town. It's like there's no people living there, and there's people living in West Village. We're talking about taxpayers. We're talking about voters in this country that had put you in that office, but you're not saying anything about the police that are in the capacity, the police that are in the payroll of these people, because we can't run to the police as the police themselves, who sworn to serve and protect the nation, are not doing that. Instead, they are handing us over on a silver platter. Who knows, by the time I get home, I'll be waiting for my assessors by the gate. They'll be waiting for me. So do not, I do understand from your point of view trying to clean this up, but up until we see it in West Village, up until we experience it, then we will be able to say thank you. But right now, I am speaking for all those deaths that have been reported in West Village. I'm speaking for every woman that has gone through rape in West Village. I'm speaking for a child of 4-year-old minister is able to narrate these gruesome stories, is able to tell you. Children are not even afraid of guns because that's what they are used to. What kind of the future are we raising in West Village if your office is neglecting West Village? Thank you.
What's your name?
Nicoline Babulos. Nicoline
who?
Nicoline Trom.
Nicoline, thanks. I would really not engage much on that, except one thing. The provincial commissioner is here. The national commissioner is here. I'm here. Works with detectives here. Your district Kekana is here. I hope they know what to do tomorrow in terms of community, listening to the community and taking it forward. That's one. But two, we have been receiving this information, especially Kagiso and all that, about these Zamazamas going mad, going beyond stealing whatever they're stealing from the mines, going in the heart and all. There have been several operations. It might not be exactly on your space, but they've been Okaimalau by the provincial commissioner. But the concentration, as you have said, it needs to be uplifted. For now, it's just to say we had you and we are here. And as I've said even before we talk, that we're not leaving this place with the resources that we have unleashed here until we make sure that the place is clean. But also provincial commissioner, which means we'll have to follow up, work with the community, because there are people that will have to be arrested and all that kind of thing. Not just come push this thing back. There are people that have committed crime, heinous crime, murder, rape and all that. Those people will have to be found, which means even on the side of detectives and all that will have to come here, deal with those cold cases and then have the answer with you. But personally, I would like to visit the community here and hear more of you. But thanks very much for raising the matter, and definitely we'll take it as we go forward. We're not going to leave it. And thanks for being brave.
Thank you, Minister. Before we wrap it up, I want to just check, PC, there's something that you wanted to add? There's new information that has come to light. Before that, there's some new information that has come to light that PC would like to just share with us, and then we'll possibly maybe hear it from Mr. Gray as well in terms of the complaints that Marlene has put up. Maybe you can join us over here, please, PC.
Okay, thank you very much. Over and above what our minister has said on the successes, we have also recovered 2 unlicensed firearms with ammunition. We have also recovered some explosives. We recovered some mercury which has been used for illegal mining activities, including the scales and some of the processed gold dust. We have recovered it on the scene of crime. We have recovered some of the victims' stolen items. I'm referring to the bank cards, the identity documents, including some of the handbags and so forth. So there is a lot of things which we have recovered during this operation, and as the Minister have said, we got a very strong marching orders from our National Commissioner that we need to sustain these operations, and we are going to do that, including the West Village, as the Minister have said. We will also go and repeat it again. We've been there, we'll repeat it again and repeat it until we mitigate the threat completely. So.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, General. Thank you so much, Minister. I know that the journalist, do you have an appetite to speak to Mr. Gray? So, Mr. Gray, let's have you have a couple of tough questions, hopefully.
Including that one.
Okay, Mr. From's question, no problem.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Craig Lindogo from ENC. I think as the Mayor, you can just give us a sense of what is your understanding around what has been raised here. It's clearly it is being painted as that there is a dire situation that needs to be sorted out. What has been done to actually sort this out before it got to this point?
Okay, so it is true what Ms. Trom says. I see Mr. Andre Shannon is also present. Thank you very much. They are the committee members elect for the community in the area. So in relation to the grass cutting, we have cut certain islands of the grass, but not all of it. I think Ms. Trom, because where she stays is in C row. I know that because I've escorted her myself there after an IDP. The issue in that area is the topography won't allow us to use conventional grass cutting methods. So today we took the fire station along for a site inspection, and then this allowed us to do a control burn, and we'll remove all the wattles as per the community meetings indication that we had. Then our new municipal budgets are effective from the 1st of July. So we have already begun the procurement methods for having more Apollo lights as well as all the street lighting in the area. And then we are specifically focusing on the tunnels of the Zamazamas in that area with TLBs, and we will be from Monday 8 o'clock to Friday 5 o'clock working on closing all of those tunnels. Furthermore, we have already established the storm committee today. I was both on the virtual council meeting and with the security forces the whole day today, and that is the strategic tactical operations response management. It coordinates SAPF, public safety, private security, as well as consultants in the security cluster to assist with regularizing and creating more safe spaces in the community.
Okay, perfect. I think that really brings us to a close, unless there's anything pressing, Minister, that you want to put out there.
No, what is pressing is that we need to get more and channel them, link them to crime, as Linda was saying, so that we are able to get those perpetrators who really did this, but also second commitment to say we will come back to work with this community.
Minister, are the police safe, all of them? There was shootouts, are the police safe? Is there any injuries from their side?
No, police are fine today. I told you that we send the cream here. And this cream is going to be around for some time. And it's a cream that when it comes, really, it cleans.
May we have cream everywhere. Thank you, Minister.
Also something that the Minister didn't mention, eh?
Yeah.
All right, so that briefing coming through from Krugersdorp there, you've just been watching the Police Minister, Bheki, Cele, and the top brass of the police, including the National Police Commissioner and the Provincial Commissioner, as well as the various heads of the detectives and other units in the various regions. And the summary really of what has come out from there is that they've arrested 67 people. 2 suspects have been killed, were killed in the shootout, in a shootout with police as they tried to resist arrest. This is in connection, of course, with that incident where there's been this gang rape of these women that were out there, part of a group that was filming a music video overnight. And the police minister signaling Cele that there's more to come around their investigations into that whole incident. And